Let's go over Star Wars Episode 9, the final film of the Skywalker saga. This is Mike Zero here. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one of the burning questions of the sequel trilogy is, of course, exactly who are Rey's parents. Now, we pretty much got that answer, at least in a way, or so we think, in The Last Jedi, when Kylo Ren says that they were nobody, that they just sold her off for drinking money, and Rey essentially agrees with that. And we're all led to assume that her parents are just nobodies who sold her off for drinking money in Episode 8. But going into Episode 9, and how J.J. Abrams is at the helm here, and there have been rewrites of the script in and out, during principal photography overall, which, by the way, will end in February of 2019. But looking at Episode 9 as a whole, we have been learning a whole lot more about this film these past couple of weeks when it comes to some of the set designs, the set leaks, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc. One of which, by the way, could very well tell us or give us an idea of who Rey's father is in Episode 9. Specifically, a young Rey on Jakku at night, next to a fire. In front of her is a man, an older man with a beige hood over his head, holding Rey's hands and eventually hugging her. The next goes over the man without his hood. He has long brown hair, tied in a ponytail that ends at the upper back, clean-shaven and waving at Rey, before hopping on his speeder and leaving Rey. So, this is honestly bringing up a ton of questions right now. Is her father a Jedi? Right? That's the thing that I thought about immediately. And from what I'm picturing in my head right now, is a Qui-Gon-like figure in Episode 9. I know it's not Qui-Gon Jinn, but a Qui-Gon-like figure, right? That is something that I think I would love to see, is a character that kind of mimics Qui-Gon and is somewhat inspired by Qui-Gon, by the creators of Star Wars Episode 9. If they did something like that, that would be truly amazing. Now, could he be a Jedi? That's just sounding like a Jedi type of, description of the character, with, the long brown hair tied in a ponytail. The only thing is he doesn't really have facial hair like many of the Jedi do, at least that they are masters, so that's one thing that's excluded from the character. But him hugging her, and essentially him holding her hands and doing all those different kinds of things, it kind of tells us that this figure in the description is indeed Rey's father. At first I was going to say, before learning about, how he's hugging her and whatnot, I was going to say maybe it's like a younger Lor San Tekka. Lor San Tekka, by the way, is the man portrayed by Max von Sydow in The Force Awakens, who was eventually killed by Kylo Ren on Jakku. This also does line directly up with how Disney and Lucasfilm are looking at Jordan as a location for Episode 9 shooting. Now, Jordan was actually the original spot that they were going to use in The Force Awakens for the planet Jakku. So, a lot of things are starting to add up here and there. Also, a young Rey. We do know that a young girl was cast for Episode 9 that will be interacting with some of the new characters in this movie, some of the new actors and actresses who have been cast for the final installment of the sequel trilogy. So, Rey's father in Star Wars Episode 9. Perhaps we don't get her parents per se, both mother and father in front of Rey, even though we have heard of some of those descriptions quite possibly rolling into Episode 9. How would you guys feel if they only stuck with Rey's father and Rey's father only, kind of leaving some, mystery for the character of Rey and who her mother is? That, to me, I think would be not the greatest route to go. I think that everybody wants to know not only who her father is, but also who her mother is in the Star Wars universe. And I think that if J.J. Abrams is going to give her a very important lineage, I think that the best way to go is to make her father a Jedi, right? A Jedi in hiding after the Jedi Purge, where he's one of the Jedi that got away and lived on. That, to me, would be truly amazing if he's actually, got that connection to Order 66 and all those different things. I would love to see something like that. Could you imagine that? Maybe if he was like, let's say, a kid during Order 66, and I don't know how the timelines would really work. It probably wouldn't, but I think that a Jedi for Rey's father would be the perfect way to go and explain exactly why she's so powerful. And I think that's one reason why a lot of people have some disappointments with Rey, is because of how she essentially steals Kylo Ren's powers. She only touches Kylo Ren in the hut scene in The Last Jedi, by the way, according to the novelization. And she actually picks and chooses which powers to learn from, as if they were just doors opening up for her in her mind. She learned them from Kylo Ren, and she learned them from Kylo in The Force Awakens as well when she tapped into his mind. So Rey's father, guys, let me know what you think about him in Episode 9. It seems as so that JJ is trying to give her an important lineage than just parents who sold her up for drinking money, because that, to me, I don't know about you guys, it just sounds off, and I feel like that there's something else to the story there. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.